welcome to your fourth online assembly and this, our book week. Now, I'd like to start off by posing you three questions. The first of those, what is your favourite book? Second, why? Why have you chosen that one? And thirdly, is there a book that you've read that actually in some way has changed your life? Now, it's interesting, when I was planning this assembly, I started off by writing down those three questions, and then I stared at them for ages and found that, rather to my confusion, I found them really hard to answer. You see, if I think about my favourite book, it seems to change depending on the circumstance and situation that I'm in. Quite often, my favourite book happens to be the book I'm reading at that precise time. Then I thought, well, it's easy to think about a book that's changed my life, and it's this one. This is A Passage to India by Iain Forster. When I was doing A-level English at school, I was forced to read this. And I remember starting it off with a sense of resentment and resignation about the task ahead, and then gradually becoming increasingly engrossed in the situation. This tells the story of the Raj, of the British imperial takeover of India. And it's led to a complete lifelong fascination with that period that in many ways has led to me becoming a history teacher. So this book changed my life. But then I look on a bookcase and I see another book and think, well, hang on, this book changed my life. This is The Prisoner of Zenda by Anthony Hope. Now, I remember a teacher telling me that I would love this and I really should read it. So I took it home, I read it, and became, again, completely and utterly entranced in this fantastical, swashbuckling world created here. This is a book that tells you that every young man should learn how to sword fight. And I remember that because of this book, I briefly took up an enthusiastic engagement with fencing. This book changed my life. But then, even books that I haven't loved, and I loved both of these books, have in some way changed my life. You see, I loved The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Absolutely loved it. But then, controversially, I hated the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Just hated it. Got completely bogged down in it. However, in many ways, that hatred has been incredibly influential to me. I've had so many conversations with people where my hatred of the Lord of the Rings trilogy has provided an exciting argument point with their complete fascination and intoxication with the whole world created by Tolkien. And I suppose that this is the point that I'm trying to make here. Books change lives, completely change lives. Throughout the whole history of our species, we have had an instinctive love of learning. A love of stories. In many ways, this is what sets us apart from other animals on this planet. Our love of stories, our love of learning, our instinctive desire to know more. And in this week, we want you to engage with that love of learning, not because we're telling you to, but because we want to. This book week is set there to not focus simply on the curriculum ideas that we know we have to follow over time, but to allow you to consider what you enjoy, what excites you, what inspires you. Now, over recent weeks, you have, as a whole school community, been an absolute inspiration to us. Sitting there at home, in front of your screens, trying to keep up with the curriculum at a time when there are so many other pressures and issues going on. The messages that we receive from you, the evidence of the work that you have done, is absolutely extraordinary. And we know that this has stressed you out. We know that many of you have found this hard. And what the point of this week is, this book week, is to tell you that it is okay to take time out from that. It just so happens that this book week that we are running as a school coincides with Mental Health Week. And actually, your mental health at this time is so important to us. There's huge amounts on the news, on the internet, on websites about the physical health of the nation at the moment. But let's think for a moment about our collective mental health. We need to take time to think about things and to take time out of the pressures of our everyday education. And so the aim of this week is to allow you to do something different. We're telling you that it is completely okay to engage with something that excites and interests you rather than formal schoolwork. If you want to sit there and read a book that you absolutely love, that's great. Do it. Tell us about it. Write a literary review or don't. That's completely up to you. If you'd like to sit down and write a poem about anything that excites you, go for it. That would be amazing. We'd love to hear about it. Or if you just want to keep it to yourself, do that. If you want to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube puzzle, brilliant. Go for it. What an amazing thing to try and do. Or if you just want to lie on your back and look at the sky and listen to an amazing piece of music, go for it. Why not? What a great thing to do. We hope that this week you are going to get the opportunity to do things that excite you, that stimulate you. If you want suggestions, then our departments have spent hours sitting down, going through the internet, considering things that excited them when they were young, and putting together sheets of ideas. Look at them. They're on our website. But also feel completely free to do what excites you, to engage with something that interests and inspires you, because that's the whole point of this. We hope this week serves as a positive stepping back from the situation we're in and from the way in which your schooling is operating. If in any way you've got any doubts, any concerns, any questions about this week, get in touch with us. If you want us to get a book to you, get in touch with us. If you have questions about big things, get in touch with us. We would love to help. We'd love to be with you at this time, and we very, very much look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you very much.